Jérôme Van Gastel. I'm from SQLI, the Paris agency, and as you may guess, I'm French, even if thanks to Game of Thrones, I have developed some kind of Westeros accent. So, we're here to talk about artificial intelligence. Why am I here to talk about that topic? Because among many projects I lead about the enterprise architecture, robotization of process automation, there's also a big deal about artificial intelligence. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with artificial intelligence, but mostly to share with you the insights we've gained at SQLI about artificial intelligence with our customers, which run from media to banking and in insurance industries. So actually what we know, limits we've reached and what we can do to tackle that. My main point is that you go away after this speech with a new way to step back, breathe, and think about artificial intelligence, so that you can challenge your business teams, your IT teams, and most close the software editors who whispers nice stories about AI, but you should know what is really behind. So let's start with first a point about AI skills, actually, which do not scale in organization. Gartner predict that through the next year, 80% of the AI projects will be dealt with some kind of wizards, experts about AI, but don't expect in coming years that most of your organization will be able to follow up, to understand and to challenge this kind of projects. So that's a first limit, which is human. A second point, which is as much as important, is that the current, your audience, and the next ones, who are the millennials who keep growing up, they demand, they value the innovation that you bring to them, but it's not only the value, they really demand that you go even further. So you see one paradox: it's hard to scale up with AI skills within your organization, but your customers grow in demanding more and more of what you can get thanks to artificial intelligence. So quickly, because I don't know how savvy you are all about artificial intelligence, but something pretty quick and simple. An artificial intelligence represented by this human head with technical stuff inside, you need to train it first. So to train it, you need to have data. And when you feed your neural network with data, then you get it trained. And you train it until you think it's enough by testing it. When you are ready, you get an operating neural network to which you present a new kind of data, and it is able to assess what are the results out of that. So artificial intelligence, in its principle, look pretty simple. But the real point is to have the training data. And most organizations think they can use artificial intelligence, but if you don't have the qualified data, you can't go very far. One example are emails. Companies have tons and tons of emails or even comments on social media. And they think we should feed a neural network with that. But the question is, you may feed with data, but you don't know what the data is about. A machine won't be able to know that unless you've done that work for them. So to some extent, to really work with AI, you need to be able to have proper data. And most companies actually don't. Let's train our neural network here. Let's train our artificial intelligence to identify rabbits from frogs. So to teach an AI machine, you need to show it a lot of pictures, for instance, of a rabbit, different rabbit in different situations. And the same for frogs. And at the end, the machine is just able to know the difference between a rabbit and a frog. If you present a dog, the machine will try to put the dog between rabbit and frog. It can't be something else. So a very key limit of artificial intelligence is that it can only determine what you have trained it with. So now we've trained our machine and we are happy with the results, we'll try with this kind of creature. What do you think the machine will answer to that? Any guess? It will think it's a rabbit. And you may wonder why the machine can't be that stupid. But actually, just look at that point. Can you see it? The red point? Actually, the rabbit, the different rabbit we have given to the artificial intelligence, the machine has just determined that a rabbit has a tail, whereas the frog seems not to have a tail. So when you present something with a tail, the machine just thinks it's a rabbit. You may think that's really weird, but that's how machines work, especially artificial intelligence. When you feed it with data, The machine will have its own pattern to understand that, okay, if that's a rabbit, it will try to find a reason to that. You know, there has been an experience where we've trained a machine to make the distinction between a dog and a wolf. It's pretty tough. And at the end, the machine can make the difference between a dog and a wolf just with the background, because if it's white, the machine expects it to be wolf, because wolves are mostly in a landscape with ice. So that's a very important limit of the artificial intelligence, that it may have a way to make decisions that you don't understand. And when it faces something pretty unusual, it may have a very dramatic way to interpret it. So there is a little bug here. I don't know what's not displayed, but let's say we have a neural network on one side and a human artificial network on the other side. So how does a machine work? It has a single data set. It's all the same data on a single memory. What does it mean? A single memory means everything is worth the same value, right? But for a human, it's different. A human is not fed with one set of data. You are constantly fed, you within this room, all human and even animals, by real-time sensors, our eye, our ear, our nose, the things we touch. So we are fed constantly with different things and not in a single data set, constantly through the time. And also, we have another input besides our 5 senses, which are our other nerve centers. Our stomach behave, some say, as a brain as well. So it also sends signals to our own brain. And on the other side, we have a multi-layer memory as human. It means that for a machine, the lunch you had 500 days ago, you forget it, but the machine still remembers. So actually, we have a way to process as human data in a way that the machine wouldn't do, because the machine can't assess what's important or not across time. It means that the difference between an artificial intelligence and the human one is completely different. And there is something I would like to add here about the limits of artificial intelligence, that is it really intelligence? Because we call it intelligence, and actually maybe it's not the right way to name the things. Because we call neural the same way machine work and our own. And to some extent, using the word neural and intelligence have brought some bias in the way we think about the machine and what we expect from them. So, if I ask you what's the difference between an artificial intelligence and a black box, what would you say? To some extent, it's the same thing, because you will never be able to understand how the machine thinks and processes things. You may try to access the logs of the server, but it will be total nonsense for you. It will be logs and technical insights that you wouldn't be able to interpret. It tells something very important and dangerous for the business, because if you try to use AI with artificial neural network, you may face GDPR, especially here in Europe, and you know that we want to understand how data is used, and also we go to further transparency. But if you take some decisions for your customers mostly, but maybe within, for human resources matters as well, and you expect your neural network to make decisions for you, if you can't explain why there is bias, you will be in trouble. And this is where artificial neural networks reach some limits as well. You won't be able to explain why some decisions have been made, but you will be responsible for these decisions. What is intelligence, by the way? I think we may think a lot about this definition, but I will share with you my favorite one, which is from Jean Piaget. It's really not what you know, but what you would do if you don't know already the things. This is where you understand whereas a human is intelligent or a machine is. And when we check the story with the rabbit and the frog, you may wonder really how intelligent can really be a machine at the end. So there is one first takeaway which is important, is that a machine will never think or process things like a human. Don't expect to become true the story that machine will replace human. It won't happen before a long, long time, and it may never happen at all, because a machine will never think and process things like human. So don't expect a machine to think, understand your customers better than your own team, because it won't happen this way. You also face an ever-growing flow of data, phone calls, pictures, emails, biometrics information, all of that keeps feeding your systems. But at the end, you face a limit of power and ability to store it. So at the end, you can't just add more power, buy more hardware or more sophisticated software, because you won't be able to tackle that. So a way is to think different. Of course, it's not from me, but you will get the point. First, think about the granularity. Do you really need to get all the data you can get thanks to sellers of data, thanks to captors, thanks to getting all the logs of the world? It doesn't make much sense. Just get what you need. Don't go too far, because the further you will go, you may have too much to process, and then you will need storage and power. Just think also best of breeds. Don't expect a software editor that his software is a marvel, it's a one-size-fits-all technology. Just get the technology you need for a given need. There is also the way you can combine stuff. Don't just pile all your things in one single system. Maybe it will be a combination of different systems to get nice performances. And also, beyond how, then, what does it mean? After you've implemented technology, usually you think you're done. Many people, maybe here, do box, proof of concept, and then you think you're fine. And then you go to your business and you think the machine you've put in place will work forever. It's not true, because mostly, with all the box I've been through, editors are here, they help you to show you that it works fine. And when it's signed, then it's over. You get a system and you don't pay more attention to it, and it's in production. And it's really important to think what comes after. That's really key limit of the system as well. So the second takeaway is, don't think it's always technical. This is so important, because so many customers think that, oh, if that doesn't work, maybe I buy new software or something else or more powerful. It won't work this way. Just think how you leverage your own human skills and how you can combine different offerings within the market. I think it's very, very important, but because to just think it's spending more with more power, with more shining new software, it may not work. How work a good AI? Again, that's really important. It's to have the right data. It means qualified one, and to have the right technology with you, working with the relevant technology for it. And then you would have a good AI. If you buy a nice software because you think it's cool, or because your competitor has done something great with it, but you don't have on your own the same quality of data, it may not work. So now we've reached to that point. How can we transform the customer experience with artificial intelligence? First, try to develop the self-service. Now people are savvy enough to be able to do things on their own, and especially they don't want to queue anymore. With e-commerce, actually, it's pretty well done. Think about the personalization. How do you ensure you can do smart recommendations to give the right price to your customers, and also to show him the relevant content? This is where AI can be used at its best. Be available 24/7 as well, and also think about all the new kind of tools you can get with artificial intelligence, especially chatbots, which are more advanced, frequently asked questions things. You can think about the virtual assistants, and also with the IoT, which can help. And although the AI will bring something which no human can compete with, your AI will always be happy, because you can ask it to be always happy with customers, and to understand how customers think and behave, just to transform them as happy customers, understanding their requirements, and answering them the way they want it. You have, of course, AI maturity model. You need to know where you start from until where you go to be sure where you stand. And there is a long way to go through AI. So the last stuff is really, before you use AI for your customer experience, be sure it will work well. If not, don't do it, because it would be worse than anything else. Thanks.